Sunday service,
Welcome to the Cowboys CanFan Sunday service.
Ooh.
I like that intro song.
It's what? Crack 'em if you got 'em. Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Crack 'em if you got 'em. The trifecta. Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Trip Crack'ems.
Trip crack 'em. We did a little. I see that we've changed the pre-roll. We've changed the intro music. This is just for the Sunday service. As anyone that has stuck around with Cowboys CanFan, you know we're rolling 2 shows now. Sunday at kind of, some point in the afternoon, the Sunday service, and then Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern is the main event. How the hell you two doing?
I'm doing very well. And I must say, before Adam answers, because no one cares.
I almost fucking...
We originally thought about the Sunday service, and we were like, oh, well, let's just keep it running for the season. And I was the stickler, said, no, those aren't Sunday services. However...
Oh, no, you battled back.
Well, I'm just saying, if it grows on us...
I mean, it has.
And it's already grown on me, then I think the post games can be called Sunday services.
Well, I think a post game is kind of... it feels like it would be very emotionally charged.
Should stick.
I think a Sunday post game should be a Sunday service because that's when we're going to be our most amped up.
Yeah.
One way or the other. Hey, before we jump into any Cowboys news, I have to ask you guys, because I read this, I was reading Twitter, and there was a pretty good thread. Someone had posted, what kind of podcast are you into? And it was kind of a 50-50 split. I would say 50% of the people wanted facts. They just wanted to they wanted to get right into what the topic was. Like they searched Dallas Cowboys and boom, 30 seconds in, they hear an intro. And now we're talking Dak Prescott threw 14 interceptions and blah, 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 blah. And then I would say the other half was kind of entertainment. They want to be entertained. They want to get to know the people who are talking. And it's just kind of, I know we're painted into one side kind of.
Oh, yeah.
We're definitely painted into one side. But how do you guys feel about that? Like when you're listening to a podcast, are you looking for entertainment value or are you looking for straight to the facts?
Sorry, I was telling Alex, let me answer first because I was going to play a sound cue and then I couldn't find it. But to legit answer your question,
but I did cut you off earlier and just now, so now you can go.
That's totally fine. I personally will listen to entertainment ones. Like I have a couple of like the key entertainment ones. During season and even off season, I have a couple of podcasts where I'm going straight to hear opinions and news. So I'm a bit of both. I'm that
you jump back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, I respect that. AJ, yourself?
So it for me, it really depends who I'm listening to. If you're trying to do entertainment and you're not good at it, I don't. Obviously, this might be too obvious. But the other side is like I do want some facts. Like if I go to a sports podcast, I want to be entertained overall, but I'm also just not into listening to someone's opinion because that's something that you really have to care about.
He fumbled 3 times.
Yeah, or if they're just if they're funny, I can get past it, but I do need to have some sort of like I agree with this guy.
Right.
And that comes with making some good points. But ultimately, entertainment, because if you want the facts, you can go to the billion-dollar corporations, and they're going to give you all of the fucking
P's and Q's.
Because they got a whole team of analytics, of analysis looking at that shit. You come here, you're going to get a little bit of the heavy entertainment side, I hope.
See, myself personally, I like the entertainment side of it. When I listen to a Cowboys podcast, I like to hear the guys have a little bit of banter. I do like to hear opinions that I don't have because then it kind of, I'm like, okay, what can I steal from their show to bring up in our show? But also, if I'm looking for a stat or I want to hear something about a stat, I'll just fucking use YouTube or Google myself. Most of the time.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was interesting that it was pretty much like, I would say 50-50 here. I think we're leaning between, but besides Ad's point, we're kind of leaning towards the entertainment, as you can tell by the show we post.
Chat saying, Dallas Cowboy Chris says entertainment. EJ Savage says, I love the off-topic stuff because I think y'all are hilarious. So, I mean, we do have some of that entertainment fan base. What do you think, AJ?
I do. I'm saying I don't want to dog and there were 2 of them right there. I don't want to dog our guests. They bring the knowledge. They bring the facts, okay?
2 guys that just mentioned, totally. EJ Savage, EJ Savage and Cowboys Chris, you both have played Will McClay on one of the versions.
Much needed
Will McClay position in our drafts.
Hey, so have you ever watched what the fuck's it called? Dragon Ball Z?
No.
Yep.
Okay, Dragon Ball Z, the Goku and Vega or what the fuck's his
Vega or
whatever. They combine to form one mega being. Well, I think that's when we get to the big our big draft right before.
Yep.
Day one of the draft or on day one of the draft. If both Chris and EJ can make it, they're going to have to form into one uber powerful Will McClay.
Well, 100%. So Cowboys Chris is actually going to be live at the draft, so we're definitely going to have him call live from Kansas City to hop on the show at some point. And you know our boy EJ Savage is hopping on.
Yeah.
100%. So what do we got on the docket today, fellers?
Well, actually, we don't really have anything, but there was nothing planned.
We're just going to kind of freeball it.
Days may be over.
For fuck's
Doesn't mean
sakes.
I'm retired.
That's you. I was like, is that me?
No, this article on Fansided, written by, we're going to hopefully get Jerry Trotta here on the show.
The Trotta-Scotta.
I am speaking way ahead, but we're going to hopefully get him on during the draft. Just got to make sure that, he's
probably going to be
available.
super busy.
Probably, but I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep prodding him. But anyways, he had written this article, Troy Aikman on shaky ground with ESPN. Jim Nantz defends Tony Romo.
Wow. This is 19 minutes ago, so this is kind of breaking news.
Yeah, do you want me to...
Yeah, Jerry Trotta just skim through it, AJ, and then let's see what it's saying here.
So former Super Bowl winner Troy Aikman is now calling Monday Night Football with longtime partner Joe Buck after years of calling America's Game of the Week on Fox. And Tony Romo is partnered with Jim Nantz on CBS. And the duel is typically assigned one of the week's most high-profile games. Incredibly, both former QBs are navigating issues with their current employees. In Aikman's case, there's a mounting speculation that Aikman and Buck, albeit to a lesser extent...
I'll bite? Like
Albite
you're
and
going to
Buck.
bite you're going to bite someone?
Albeit that means although to a lesser extent.
Isn't it albeit?
LB?
LB?
Yeah, had an influence in ESPN's decision to swap Monday Night Football director Jimmy Platt and producer Phil Dean. So it looks like some behind baseball here. And that...
airing the dirty laundry a little bit, Troy.
Yeah, and the kind of summary here, Awful Announcing reached out to ESPN and found the unexpected change was part of an ongoing friction between production crew and talent.
Wow.
So does that mean that he's just hard to work, that these guys are hard to work with, or what's going on here?
I think maybe because they were with the Game of the Week for so long with Fox, maybe... They're just not used to a certain team, right? Everyone's been in the situation where they've worked at a job for so long, been comfortable.
Yeah.
Leave that job expecting it to be similar to what their new job to be similar but better to their last one. And there's the classic saying, the grass is not always greener on the other side. So that's kind of sounds like the case of Troy Aikman here. He's obviously not getting along with the crew. And he obviously came out publicly and said it, which is a little bit bad blood.
What I guess I don't know what happened here. Aikman went from one network to another.
Yeah, so he was with Fox. So Troy Aikman prior to last season, so forever many years, him and Joe Buck called the America's Game of the Week for Fox in the afternoon slated games. So you'd always get a ton of Cowboys games, right?
Right, okay.
You get Troy and Buck announcing the afternoon games for
Troy
Fox.
and Buck like to
Troy
fuck.
and Buck like to fuck. But last year, with ESPN losing their other announcers, they hired Troy Aikman and Joe Buck to take over Monday Night Football, which is ESPN.
Okay.
So last year was their first year as ESPN host, and obviously it didn't go as well as some people think.
So this is about friction in the back. What was the reception?
I didn't mind it. I mean, the thing with us, like realistically, besides the Cowboys playing on Monday night, whenever I had it on, I just kind of have it on, right? Like unless it's another NFC East team battling, I have it on, obviously, but I'm not really listening to fucking Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, especially if they're not talking about the Cowboys. I think reception was decent, but obviously behind the scenes is where the ship was rocking.
Yeah. Well, what was this thing about Tony Romo?
Well, Tony Romo, the tension didn't end with the telestrator, however. Awful Announcing shared that Aikman, unlike previous Monday Night Football broadcasters, didn't go out of his way to AJ?
I think it's supposed to be ingratiate. Let's say integrate himself.
Integrate himself with his new team. One source said Aikman arrives Monday game day on his private jet and flies home after the game, leaving minimal time to practice and interact with his crewmates. Ooh, okay. I'm going to skip down to, it seems like Aikman has some bridges to mend before he enters the second year of the 5-year, $90 million contract. So, and that's not the only former Cowboys quarterback that seems to not be happy with his second career. Romo, who purportedly underwent a CBS-ordered intervention amid backlash from his broadcasting during the 2022 season, Romo was accused of bypassing film study, a must for a high-profile color analyst. Viewers have also grown increasingly fatigued by Romo's replay analysis.
This is something I did hear about during the season.
I did hear about this too during the season.
So is it a case of Romo's just not happy and wants out and wants to deliver poor performance? Because he is very good at what he does.
I can't say the word. I love me some Tony Romo and
What was the word?
Romosexual. I'm a Romosexual and
I'd make that shirt.
I don't know. That would be a good shirt. I don't know. But a lot of people, this is the thing. You're never gonna have everyone happy with any announcing or color commentary because everyone thinks they're better than the person doing the job. So.
And there's a reason that these networks went after Tony Romo and Troy Aikman. Obviously, Aikman has his own NFL legend with his 3 Super Bowls that he won with the Cowboys. However, the big thing is they're Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks, and they know that if they put these guys on the screen,
It's going to cause controversy.
yeah.
$90 million for 5 years. That's for Aikman. That's way more than he made playing football. way more. Can you scroll down there? It looks like there's a tweet. Yeah, what's this tweet say here?
Appearing with Jimmy Traina, at Jimmy Traina, Jim Nantz pushes back on the recent criticism of Tony Romo.
Okay, so he's got his back.
He's got his back. That's what we like to see. That's a true baller, right?
That's like if I came and criticized one of you guys, I hope the other bandwagon boys got the ones back.
Yeah, absolute.
I'm just like playing you guys. I'm playing you guys back and forth to each other.
Yeah. I mean, I know for sure I would, in a certain degree, take Alex's back. I just don't know if you did.
Oh, Alex would just be the one sewering you think?
No, I'd take your back and choke you out.
Yeah.
What,
Anyways.
that's it?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Hey, look at this.
Hey, there's us. Cowboys CanFan, the official Fansided, thelandryhat.com podcast. Heyo.
So let's pull up this next article here. It's a college article, or an article on college players, I should say, 4 Texas Longhorn stars that the Cowboys could take in the NFL draft. Now we went over Michigan thoroughly with Dallas Cowboy Chris, but we kind of looked at 3 UCLA players individually. We've looked at them, so we've got that. We've got our scouting report for those 2 colleges locked up. Let's get our Longhorns.
So the Longhorns, you're gonna have the 2 running backs. You're obviously gonna have Bijan. Oh yeah, Moro Ojomo too. That's a guy that we've taken a couple times here.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be upset with it. The guy's big, strong. I've seen him on a lot of respected social media accounts, so I wouldn't be upset with him. But again, it's the DT thing, right? It's like, yeah, it'd be awesome to have, but I just feel like I would rather reach for someone else within 5-6 picks type of thing than go with a DT.
What about if you can get him in like the 3rd or the 4th though?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, yes.
I think that's kind of probably where I think Moro's kind of slotted there. Let's see this Twitter clip of him bench pressing.
Yeah.
Let's get a feel of this.
Kind of looks like me.
With the guy in the bottom of the screen?
Yeah.
The guy in the bottom of the screen and another dude's crotch? Yeah, totally.
Let's see. What's he got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I need 25 at least. 13, 14, 15. Let's go.
Come
16,
on.
17.
Push
Rep
it.
it out. 18, 19. Rep it out, baby. 20, 21. 22, don't get weak on me
Come
now,
on,
baby.
23. You got one more.
Come on. 24. I said I need
more.
25. 25.
2 more.
26.
Oh, yeah. This
27. Let's hit 30. Let's hit
boy's
30.
strong.
Let's
This
hit
boy's
30.
strong.
You got 2 more.
Let's
you got
hit
2 more.
30.
Oh, my God.
You got 2 more. You got
Come
2
on,
more.
you got 2 more. Don't you quit. Do not fucking quit. Push it. He's got 1 more. He's got that is
How
a
bad
strong
do you want it?
motherfucker.
How bad do you want
Let's
it?
go.
For the audio listeners?
I didn't get that last.
Oh, man. But he
It's a
got
strong,
a half.
strong dude.
30,
What did that end up
31 and a
being?
half? Let me see if they said. It doesn't say.
2,
But
2 to 5. No, just kidding.
yeah. Over 30.
Over 30.
Damn,
was
that's
impressive.
strong.
That was pretty impressive. In 4 seasons with the Longhorns, he had 95 tackles, 13.5 TFLs. We're huge TFL guys. 5 sacks, and had plenty of experience as a starter for more than 2 seasons and is still improving as a player. He made a major leap this year, finishing with career highs in tackles, 32, tackles for a loss, 5.5, and sacks, 3.0. He might not unseat Osa Odigizua, but he could find a role in this defense, making him a player to watch during the draft. Hey, man, I don't hate it if you get him like the 4th.
No.
Bijan, who's obviously we've been talking about. Do we even really need to touch on Bijan? Maybe if there's a Twitter clip of some highlights we could check out. But, I mean...
We just say briefly, like, the same scenario. It's like, I don't care what people say about O-line needs. If he's there at 26, you pick Bijan Robinson. At the same time, I understand that O-line is a need, and if he's not there at 26, I'm not going to lose my sleep. It will suck because I've been thinking about this offense with Bijan on it and what that could look like. And as we spoke about on our last podcast, he is an overnight team-changing type of player, at least for everything that you can make a judgment call of up to this point.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. If he's at 26, you take him, but I don't know at this point if I'm trading up to grab him. Maybe if he falls in the 20s, like early 20s, maybe. But at this point, at 26, it's a no-brainer. But if he goes to any other team than the Eagles, I'm not really going to be mad about it. Because then I think I said this a while ago. I was like, our best case scenario is Bijan's gone at like 15 to someone.
Then we don't got to worry about it.
We don't got to worry about it. We can talk about other guys.
Yeah.
We're not going to be watching the Bijan clock till 20 or 22.
If he's picked at like 24 or 25, it's going to
I could see them possibly moving up then. If he gets into the 20s.
If he gets like, I'm into the talk about trading up to 11. I'm into that talk. But I'm still like,
I think you'd have to give up a lot.
It's a lot. But 21, 22, I mean, that's way more reasonable.
I mean, even 17 or 18, I think I would start saying pull the trigger. But
within 10 picks.
Within 10 picks, yeah. I like that. Within 10 picks.
I've not even heard about this guy, but he looks like a big boy. Keandre Coburn?
Another defensive tackle from Texas. And they do it bigger in Texas, judging by this guy. He has been hitting some good Texas barbecue.
Look at his fucking arms, dude.
His arm is the size of your waist.
Yeah.
That is a big human.
And that's my waist when I came back from Thailand.
He could fit all 3 of us in him.
Let's see what they got here.
I meant his belly.
Let's have a look at his.
He looks mean. I mean,
he's already got Adam with this fucking.
I'm in with his.
Do we got any sound?
Holy shit!
Do we got any sound on this shit?
Yeah, let's see him move. Oh,
love that spin move.
Spin move. Look at this guy.
I'm bringing it back.
Here, bring it back.
Andre Coburn in the middle. He would not be denied.
Hype us. Yeah.
Oh,
Rep it out. Man, that's a big boy. Look at that. Imagine that thing running full speed hitting you. Oh. Yeah.
he can move, man.
He's got some wheels.
And look, his power. This is a continuation here of the article. His power makes him an ideal run stuffer, and it wouldn't take long for him to get up to speed. A very intelligent player. Coburn started 45 games for the Longhorns, bringing a ton of experience with him to the next level. So Texas is the Longhorns is one of those colleges where it's like they're the most on that most level NFL ready tier.
Yes,
correct.
I mean, yeah. So you got like the Georgias, and you have TCU is there, like or Arkansas, Alabama, like those kind of are. They call them pretty much NFL mills, right? Like there's guys coming out of those. LSU is another one. I like seeing this though. Like Hankins, Coburn didn't blow up the stat sheet, and he won't do it in the NFL. Instead, he'll do the dirty work and eat up blocks, which would allow players such as Micah Parsons to find even more favorable matchups. We just need that space eater, man. Let our linebackers flow. You know, we don't have the biggest group of linebackers. So if you get Hankins and this big boy taking up the guards in the center, well, now you got your free roaming linebackers to eat. So I don't hate that. And then they got the last but not least, a more realistic running back, Roshan Johnson. So obviously the backup in Texas. As good as Bijan Robinson is, he's not likely to be in Dallas without making a sacrifice, which I agree.
Yeah.
They looked at it. I was reading some stats about the chances of Bijan Robinson getting drafted by the Cowboys at 26, and it was something like 5%. So
A
unless
lot of things have to go right for him to.
even for the Cowboys to trade up within 10 spots, like for the Cowboys to trade into the first round.
There it is.
Was his alarm going off?
Oh yeah.
It's my 12th. I got it.
There he is. Yep.
Sorry, Roshan.
Yeah, Roshan. For the Cowboys to even realistically get Bijan, a lot of shit's got to work out. So if they are trying to take a decent running back, Roshan Johnson has been in the chat about one of the running back that you could get somewhere like the 3rd or 5th round, and you're still going to be getting a good player who played very well in college and has all the intangibles to be successful in the NFL.
I'm sorry. Ad, can you just bring me down? Well, we can.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can say, and I just want to.
No, I'm bringing down.
I mean, I haven't. Was that me?
No, it's me. I just wanted to see what our TikTok live stream looked like.
I just haven't seen this.
Oh yeah,
guy yet.
that's totally good.
Want to have a look at him?
Looks
Okay.
good. I like it. I mean, I haven't even, to be honest, I'll be completely transparent here. I haven't watched even anything on him because I just don't see us getting him. But that's probably who we'll end up getting. They do have a highlight here. House call for Roshan Johnson. Let's see it. Let's see this. Let's see the wheels he's got here. Oh yeah, I like that. Has the weight to get through the tackles and then has the speed to break away from the
Hell yeah.
safeties. Let's re-see that. Ad didn't even see it. Let's roll that back for Ad Best. Look at this. Get those pads low. Get those pads low. Get those feet going.
I mean, he looks kind of tankish. I like it.
He does. And he's got wheels. He's a burner. Hey, man. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I just want a running back that's going to come in and be big. I think you said it best, 215 or bust.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree.
Got to be a little heavy.
Can we get a draft buzz on this cat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we can't do that without draft buzz.
Barry Grant from the All Even podcast in the chat. I'm just in here to say that AJ is wrong and hates fun.
Listen.
Love you guys.
Listen.
I had to read it because I didn't hear it.
What do I hate?
I threw it up on the screen
What?
for our fans, so they all saw that. If you want to read chat, just ask.
But I can't see what's happening.
All right.
If you want to read chat, just say, "Hey, what's going on with chat?" I haven't wanted to interrupt you guys, but like we have Ultra Cowboy and Dallas Cowboys Chris going at it about whether or not Dallas is going to be picking up a tight end in the first round. So we got stuff that we can talk about.
Okay,
but let's finish up.
Let's do it too. But first of all, you bring it up. I want to get to the bottom of it. What is it that I didn't want to have fun with?
I think he's just.
He's just.
pulling your leg.
Okay. I thought there was something I said. and I was like,
Well, yeah, he should.
He's trying. He's
He's just doing it. He's getting exactly what he wants out of me. But no, Roshan does look kind.
Hey man, 6 foot 219.
Yeah, dude.
That's what we're talking about right there. Hey man, he's born and raised in Texas.
Oh, and they Draft Buzz really like the new update here with this color coding.
Ooh, that is nice. And they even give you the bottom there. Okay, all right.
Not
That's
very
nice.
good on Madden, but hey, we'll take it.
So what's his? They're saying he's the overall 9th. Overall ranking is 109.
Yeah, 10th overall at his position.
Not bad. So that's putting you somewhere in the 3rd to 5th. You know,
I mean, here's the question then. You have the choice of Roshan Johnson or Charbonnet.
Charbonnet.
so Sharby's going in the 2nd, in my opinion. Right?
So Roshan's a 3rd rounder.
I think maybe even a 4th. I think Roshan's probably a 4th. 109, that puts you late 3rd, early 4th, right? Somewhere like that.
Well, then you probably could wait for him if you think that he has.
It's
the
one
chops.
of those. It's one of those things like we talked about. Depends what the running back market does. It depends if guys go gangbusters in the 2nd and 3rd on running backs, and then you're like, oh shit, we're sitting there at 90. He's ranked 109. Maybe you trade back. Who knows? But I think it all depends how the draft board plays out. But I could see him going in the 3rd or 4th, anywhere from the 3rd to 5th. I think he's slated in.
I just want that back, and he looks like he's got the big body.
He does. Just 6 feet, 219. I mean, so if we don't get that Bijan, maybe we get that Roshan.
Oh, you want me to pull it down? Okay.
No, and let's go to chat. You said we had some conversations.
Okay,
there.
so in chat right now, the big thing going on between Dallas Cowboy Chris and Ultra Cowboy. Ultra is saying that Cowboys are gonna pick a tight end in the 1st round. DC Chris says Cowboys will not go tight end in the 1st round. If they are going to go tight end, if he's not Travis Kelce, the Cowboys will never pick a tight end in the first round, says Dallas Cowboy Chris.
I hope they don't.
Ultra just says, like I said, keep telling yourself that. And then Chris goes, no, I'm telling you.
Dunked on.
And then he goes into saying that Cowboys aren't going to be picking a running back in the first round. And I
Probably
actually,
not.
Yeah. So since we're on the running back talk, we haven't even brought this name up at all in any of our mocks necessarily. But Ultra Cowboy says Kendre Miller will be the running back the Cowboys draft.
I don't like his size. That's kind of the only and he's a good running back. I just don't. He's another guy that reminds me. He's like a scat back third down option, which I don't think that's what we need.
And then
I don't want scat on my team.
No, I don't want a best guy that's covered in scat.
The thing about a running back, though, and I will not bend on this, is you got to have size. The small guys, they're just not. I haven't seen it yet, anyways. Where a running back, a 5'10" or under type of running back, 190 pounds, excels in the NFL. Like, is there a guy out there right now?
The closest one that I could think of right now that's
By
like,
himself, by the way.
No.
this loser?
No, I don't think
Yeah.
there's any. I don't think there's any running back that's. I mean, Alvin Kamara maybe, but I even think he's probably like at least 215.
It's not that I don't think that they're valuable or could have success, but when I'm weighing the options, the big body guy who can, when he gets hit by a linebacker, isn't going to go backwards.
Yep.
That's just so much more valuable to lean forward to get that extra yard. It's a
Yep.
difference between 3 and 4 yards a carry, and that's like fucking massive with what we look at, anyways.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So one thing, and so EJ brings up a good point. We have to get Ultra on call for the Cowboys pick at 26, man. So what I want to do too is I want Ultra Cowboy.
He'll be a post. Like
Oh,
no.
yeah. No, yeah,
I'm
no.
just gonna go out and say it. No.
So Ultra will be.
He'll be like at like when we're between
No, I didn't. Yep. That didn't quite work.
between like he can be on to talk about it between like 28 and 31 or 32 or something.
well, Ultra is going to be there in person.
Oh, nice.
We do need Ultra because he shows up every episode, so we can't ever knock him for not being.
Oh, I'd never knock him.
No.
Very vocal with his picks. He's already trashed Dak in this chat.
Well, duh.
of course.
I mean, that's like a prerequisite for him being in
Hey,
the
if
chat.
he didn't, then we know his account got
I'm
hacked.
surprised he hasn't figured out how to have YouTube just when he enters the chat have something about Dak
Well,
get said.
he comes in and he says Kendre Miller is 6 feet, 220.
Oh,
Cowboys met
he
with
does
him.
not look like that.
Cowboys met with him for 2 days straight.
Hey, that's why we got chat. You're making me like it. AJ, you want to toss me one of those, son?
Oh, so, yeah, you know what? Bring up the draft buzz, okay? Maybe.
Ad, you know what to play?
Oh, fuck, I can't. I'm in the middle of trying something here, so.
Oh, okay.
But then, but I was right about Dak Prescott. So, Ultra, you need to the Sunday before, or even the Wednesday night, so the day before the draft, we need all of your picks in all the rounds on who the Cowboys are going to pick. And you can give us, your top 3 per round if you want, because I know obviously things change. But I want to hold you over the coals for your picks because you hold us over the coals for all of our picks. So we need you to submit because you've said. I know.
We need you to submit.
You're always saying who the Cowboys are going to pick, but who do you think and who do you want them to pick? So we need that from you.
Well, gave us 2. He said.
Well, he's always saying Hendon Hooker.
So
He
okay,
said-
so there you go. The Cowboys aren't getting Hendon Hooker. They're not taking a tight end in the first. They possibly could get Kendre Miller. He is 5'11". He is 215. He is from TCU.
Well,
I just don't like his running style.
Well, so far Ultra said that we're taking Hendon Hooker. We're going to be drafting a tight end the first round.
And this guy, so you already
then
got his
Kendre
top
Miller.
3.
So this is Kendre Miller. Just his stats, and
No pick though, eh?
not on this, but we saw him here.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Kind of looks like he's already wearing Baltimore Ravens. I don't like that. I don't like
That's Horned
that.
Frogs, baby.
But here's what I like to see. At least he improved. His overall grade improved every year, and he had a shit ton of running in his final year there, wherever the fuck he was playing.
TCU.
So,
And they do play against other like NFL style teams, right? So
I know that's something that I think is so relevant is I need to know, and maybe that's what the grade actually takes in is like who they're playing, quality of team. I don't fucking know though, but I don't know enough about what teams are good and then which games to look at because they're only playing. I learned this last cast with Dallas Cowboy Chris. They only play the college team once. Like you're not playing.
Yeah, they play all
twice. Or
but the thing with this, so it's kind of, can you fault the guy though? Because there's also guys that played with. They're on a team that doesn't play against good talent, but they're also playing to get with guys that don't have great talent.
No, and I
so it's one of those. It's tough.
Yes, and that's one of the things for DTR, Adam's bread and butter for the draft, is the UCLA O-line. I don't believe was a very great O-line, or maybe there were some injuries or something. But I think that's relevant to take in too. Is like, okay, how's this quarterback and how's the team around him, or how's this running back, and do they have guards, or is this the only wide receiver that's out on the field? So
I just think that any team who snags DTR is gonna and not saying that he wouldn't be valuable.
Get off his dick already!
I can't help it, man. If his dick is the size of how he runs and all that, it must be a pretty big dick to stay on to. So.
Or he runs like he's got a little wiener.
Yeah.
So you never know.
He's overcompensating, so his athleticism. But I mean, anybody, if
points.
you could get DTR fourth
to
round,
slide into ads DMs,
fourth to seventh round, that's a steal. If he goes in the third or the second, it's a good pick.
He won't. There's probably well, you could. No, I shouldn't say he won't. I'm worse than Ultra sometimes. Whatever I say is like.
Well, Ultra gave us this thing. First round will be one of these three: Kincaid, Musgrave, or Drew Sanders.
I'd rather Drew Sanders than Musgrave or Kincaid, to be honest.
I'm still high on that Shoemaker.
Yeah,
I like tight ends.
And I did a little diving
because we're Michigan boys or
Schoon?
Michigan boys.
Yeah, I did a little diving into his Instagram. It's Schoonmaker.
Oh, is it Schoonmaker?
I thought so.
Yeah, I did a little diving.
But remember,
Scoonie's going to be on the Cowboys.
Every time, sometimes we say to Schoon on I don't know.
Spoony with Scoonie.
Schoon.
Tight ends I like for the Cowboys that do not include the potential first round pick of Myers or Myers or whatever the fuck and Kincaid are Washington, big body Washington. Although historically he is an inch or two over what makes a quality receiver in the NFL. For some reason, if you look at the best receiver or the tallest players in the NFL who were good receivers, either wide receiver or tight end, the cap is pretty much at like a 6'5".
Yeah,
it's interesting to see. So I don't know how much that makes how much you can make of that.
Well, he didn't really have a crazy career catching the ball in college either. He's just like that dominant run blocker.
Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you get him.
It's also this, a back-to-back crack here on the Sunday service. Hallelujah. Sorry.
It's okay. I mean, we're just getting used to this. We don't know how don't know how that spirit's going to come through you, and you just got to call out, right?
I know Ad could go literally 30 minutes just staring at chat, and then his ADD kicks in, and I love it.
The ish is that because Ant's been so fucking out of studio this season, and we've had like remote guests, we've been very lackluster. At least I have been on my soundbite. So I was looking for the hallelujah when I literally don't even know where my hallelujah.
You probably don't have it. You probably got rid of it once we got rid of.
No, I kept it somewhere.
Got rid of them.
Because
better stop trying me.
So, but I think some of it is. Imagine LeBron James is 6'8", I believe.
No, I think 6'8", 6'9".
Let me see.
He's definitely tall as fuck.
Shit, them boys is having the time of their lives.
But I know what you're saying.
6'9".
So yeah, how tall is Washington? 6'7". Oh, 6'7".
Or on paper, maybe he's a little shorter. But
okay.
But my point is, once you hit that certain size, the NBA becomes if you're an athletic person, the NBA becomes a more probable scenario because it's capped at a height, right? So most players in the NBA are like 6'7" or above, or 6'6" and above, whatever. But once you get to that height, you have a physical attribute that just can't be taught. So you naturally can find a position on an NBA team if you have those skills to play. Football to me would be a more fun sport to play, but if you're a college player weighing your options, you just might think that, okay, I have a better chance with basketball to make more money, so it's better for me to go. So that might be one of the reasons that we don't see anyone over that height, because they're picking to go to.
Did Washington play college basketball?
I don't know.
So
I would assume. I mean,
maybe he's just one of those guys that just never even wasn't a 2-star athlete, which I'd find very probably unlikely.
Well, I like him. I don't ever see him showing up though when we do our mocks.
It's 26. I think is even too early for him, and then he's going to go early second, and we're never going to be able to touch him.
Please never say die.
I also like this dude, Davis Allen, I believe his name is. Davis Allen. He plays for some orange team.
Michigan?
Not Michigan. Tigers. Clemson Tigers.
The Clemson Tigers.
I don't know about his blocking, but he's got a big body, and he's available in a late round, and that's why I'm looking at him, because it's like, well, if we don't have a tight end by whatever it is, fourth or fifth, then start looking at this guy, because at that point you're just going for, I would look at physical attributes.
Yep.
This guy's big. He can catch a ball.
It's kind of what they did with Schultz, and he ended up turning out. Like, Schultz, for being a 4th-round pick, was very successful for us. So we just need to, obviously the Cowboys have a couple good tight ends in the room already. They obviously know how to draft them. They just need to get value in one of the later positions, because I think, I don't know, maybe they do get Kincaid, but I personally don't want a tight end in the first round. And I've said that multiple times.
Yeah. I don't want it. I want Bijan. Okay.
Bijan!
I want Bijan. But I'm
Bijan
okay.
these nuts.
Again, I'm okay with the tight end. If he is that blocker receiver, that is just going to be like, hey, here's your guy for the next 4 seasons, which honestly, again, I don't give a shit about. I don't want a player who's going to be there in 2 or 3 seasons to be the player that we need. They need to come and play now. So if that tight end is there, and that's the best player who we feel is going to be able to come and play in 2023 at an NFL level, then I think you got to take it, man.
And that means if you're taking a tight end at 1, it's saying, hey, you're tight end 1. We're expecting you to start over Fergalicious and Hendershot.
And I think
that's what that has to be.
I feel like Fergie and Hendershot they're better in that 2-3. And guess what? There's not really a lot of tape to prove me otherwise. What? Because they're good where they play, and I want to see them just keep improving without maybe having to step up. Because I honestly just don't think that we have we don't have a number 1 on the Cowboys right now at the tight end position.
I just don't like the idea of us. I mean, we saw how much of a tight end safety blanket Dak has, and I would rather him spread out and utilize more weapons. So you get that kind of.
You'd rather him goatsy?
Yeah, well, if you get a better tight end than if you get him a better tight end than Dalton Schultz, it's just going to be him using that as a crutch, and I think we need to utilize our other
spread your wings,
weapons.
Dak.
Yeah,
I want to see that. I want to see that long ball, son.
But is the situation with Dak throwing to Schultz a bunch and using him as that kind of blanket, is that because of the offense, and will we see a little bit of a difference, and maybe that position doesn't become as crucial? I mean, tight end, yes, a good tight end is crucial, absolutely. Can really help change the game and make the defense fucking just have be overloaded with weapons. But we could see a change in kind of that theory, especially with Brandon Cooks now.
Brandon Cooks there, because we'll look at last year. Look at the offense, or look at the wide receivers we were rolling out. Michael Gallup coming off of an ACL, a Noah Brown. We didn't even have a valuable option in the slot till we got T.Y. Hilton at the end of the season. So you basically have CeeDee Lamb getting all the coverage. So, of course, Schultz was going to find those one-on-one matchups in the middle of the field. You know who I want to have those one-on-one matchups in the middle of the field? Brandon Cooks. Get Brandon Cooks one-on-one anywhere, and teams are going to get hurt by it. And then Gallup coming back second year off that ACL.
And you didn't even mention Lamb.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean. So even with those other 2 dudes, with Gallup now being off that ACL for 2 years, and Brandon Cooks taking a little bit of eyes off of CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb could possibly go for fucking 12 TDs and like 1,500 yards this year if he stays healthy.
Yeah,
which would be amazing.
Well, he proved
that's his trajectory. That's since his year 1. His trajectory right now is about 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, and I don't think that he's going to stop his improvement as a player. I think he's still gonna, because remember seeing a shift. Say his first 3 games kind of looked a little shaky. There was a couple, maybe it was 4 weeks or
The
whatever.
drop against the Giants.
Yeah, and that was like a big standout. And then he kind of corrected himself after that.
And he was making crazy clutch catches.
Yeah.
He was the go-to guy from there. Remember, I was heated about that drop, saying that we're expecting you to be the number one. Are you this guy? And then he proved it. CeeDee Lamb's the alpha dog in that wide receiver room.
Two things. So sometimes I do have to interrupt, and I'll
Interrupt.
I'll
we
choose
don't
right
care.
now.
You don't have to explain yourself. I don't get butthurt over it. Just fucking
Sunday service,
just do
bro.
it. Serve it. Serve it.
You and AJ.
Serve it.
You and AJ.
You muted me.
You and AJ get into you. Yeah, you and AJ get into such a locked eyes thing, and then I'll try to like hop in, and then AJ will respond right away. So 2 questions I'm going to pose to you guys. This is coming from chat. I'm going to remove any type of like Chris and Ultra Cowboy battle going on because Ultra's getting personal with Chris, and
Oh, come on, guys, now.
Chris had to say keep your teddy bear name out of my mouth. But if so, EJ Savage says, but if you're trying to upgrade your tight end room, why would you wait until the 4th and 5th round? Those guys will be about as good as what you have. If you want the upgrade, get the difference maker in rounds 1 and 2. That being said, Chris makes a great point. You should take an O lineman then if you need a blocker. Both of the tight ends on the team are very good. So upgrading the blockers helps the entire offense. It helps our runners, helps our tight ends, helps our wide receivers, helps Dak Prescott. Try a season with the tight ends when I think we
No.
You don't think so?
We don't.
I think that's
we
kinda
don't have a season to
Well,
try.
I'm just posing the question. You're getting mad at me.
Hey, this is how it is. Okay, baby. Okay, baby boy.
AJ, that he was coming at you like that was your thought.
If you're gonna represent chat, then you're gonna have to get spoken to as if. No, I don't. I am, but it is a time where it's like I don't want to wait another year because all of the chips have been put into place pre-draft here with Cowboys moving in on making. Although the trades weren't really giving up much, they were big trades in that they picked up Gilmore and Cooks, solidifying
Starters,
vastly improving both offensive defense just with those 2 picks. So,
you don't sit back. You don't sit back on Ferguson and Hendershot. You draft the tight end. I just don't think you draft them at 1.
And I'm fine with that. I do agree, though. Yeah, O-line would be the better option there. But we've seen, we could probably pick up a good one in 3rd round. And it all depends on how the cookie crumbles. But that's where I'm starting to look, 3rd round.
I feel like now, just because we've talked about it so much, tight end's getting picked in 1st round.
Well, yeah. So Jeremy Anello says Darnell Washington in the 2nd would be fun for the run game and red zone
would love
threat.
it. Would love it. Darnell Washington in the 2nd.
Yeah, and then Ultra's clapping back. He's making a couple good points here. Cowboys are so high on Jake and Peyton that they're all in on drafting a TE high. And he goes 5.43 RAS for Jake and UDFA tight end, but we don't need to draft a TE. This is coming from a person that said the Cowboys will move up to draft Bijan.
I won't hear it.
No, there's a difference. This is okay.
Go for it.
I'm going to say.
Oh, a liar.
Chris didn't say the Cowboys were going to do it. Chris has a personal opinion. That's the great thing about the world. You have a personal opinion. Chris's personal opinion was if Bijan gets past 10, he would personally trade up and get it. It's no different than having a personal opinion that the Cowboys are going to draft a tight end at 26. And the best part about it, who gives a fuck what everyone says? All of us are probably wrong. There's going to be a player like Tyler Smith again that gets picked, and we're all going to be like, fuck, search, Google him fast. Yeah. We need to think.
Well, I'm hoping that we've covered him at least once.
I think we're at the point this year that we did, but this is the best part about the draft. It keeps the offseason exciting, and I honestly, with the Kincaid situation, I kind of hope he's drafted before we're on the board just again so that we don't even have to
think about it.
To me, we're not going to get Bijan. We're probably going to have an offensive guard. I honestly, I don't know. That's why it's going to be so fun. That's why the draft's wicked.
And I don't know if it's just me being crazy or maybe because it's this every year, but I think that there are some standout studs on the O-line that if they're there, you want to snap them up. But from what I'm hearing from everyone who we've been chatting with and online, I don't really see a lot of knock on the first, 5 rounds of O-linemen.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously there are tiers there, but everyone who we've talked about or when I look at there's not any massive red flags on any sans Voorhees who had. Oh, good thing that was.
Did you almost spell, or did you drop it? But it was close.
No, that's
nice.
But Voorhees had that injury, so red flag there because I like the guy, but if he can't play this year, then we can't waste fucking.
Well, that's so. If you're thinking about the offense, and I'll give credit to both the guys that are going battle in chat right now, Cowboys Chris and Ultra Cowboy, on offense. Where don't we have a cemented starter? Tight end and guard. That's the only two spots on the full offense that we don't have a for sure starter.
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
So one of those positions probably does need to be addressed in the first round. So, which I don't hate. I honestly, I don't hate tight end at 1 because it makes sense. Maybe I've just heard of it so much that it's like a running back thing where you'll find that guy later on in the rounds.
Here's the two pathways of how people think and why I think, because you either look at that pick and you're like, you're either going to become a Travis Kelce. That's the hope of drafting in the tight end in the first round. Or you draft the tight end and he just fucking can't block, can't catch the ball, or is just a fucking Dalton Schultz, and now you've wasted a first rounder on a Dalton Schultz. So I do see like the potential for not achieving what should be a first round pick is pretty damn high, right? Like if he only gets what Schultz pulled up, do we feel good about that pick? I don't.
No.
But if he shows up and turns out to be a receiver whilst adding a couple highlight blocks for big run plays, we could be happy about that. Not a guard. It's not going to be doing that, but the ability to add that potential firepower, man, that's kind of really, really exciting. And it's going to alleviate some of that need of getting a high profile running back in a higher round. You can maybe go guard in the second or third. So
what do you think? Okay, I'm going to ask another 2 questions here after I make this point.
We need to know, are you asking the questions? I don't want AJ coming at you again. I'm coming at you. He might sucker punch you this time.
Okay, this is chat.
It's chat. Okay, it's chat.
Okay,
Chat's asking these questions.
This is me
Fucking
representing chat. Well, I'd take his right hook any day. No fucking big deal.
no, I hurt my shoulder.
I would
Exactly.
You'd be like, "Don't hurt my brother," and I'd dive through all the gear to take AJ out.
Yeah. Ultra says only 2 players you move up for if they fall out of the top 15, and that is Jalen Carter and Peter Skoronsky, who has the potential to be the next Zach Martin.
Oh, don't get me started. That's a good thing we've never talked about is Peter Skoronsky.
He's gone. Both those guys, Jalen Carter and Skoronsky.
He's gone, but if he's out, but you think
I don't think they're making top. I don't think they're making out of the top 10. But he's right. Jalen Carter fucking writes. If he fell to 11th, there's going to be other teams looking
thinking the same
There's going to
thing.
be. I guarantee if Jalen Carter falls out of the top 5, there's going to be teams moving up. Like I'd be very surprised if he gets past Seattle. The other teams aren't going to trade because they got the edge rushers and the quarterbacks in those top 4 picks. Seattle at 5. I definitely think they're taking Carter at 5. But he's right. If either of those dudes fall out of the first or out of the top 10, why not?
Yeah, chat's very active today, so I can't keep up with any
that's
of
all
it.
good.
And not because I'm worried that AJ is going to attack me again, but just because I want to follow up. So on the draft pick, what do you guys? What position would you be very, very disappointed if the Cowboys picked it first round?
Punter.
Well, okay, so
I mean, you asked a question.
Okay.
He gave you an answer.
Okay.
You got to give him stipulations if you don't like the
revised
answer.
question outside of a bullshit position like kicker, which I mean, if they take Jake Moody the 5th round, I wouldn't be upset
I'm
about
not
it.
mad about it, but I don't want him in the 5th.
No, I don't want him in
No.
the 5th either. But I wouldn't. I'd be like, oh, okay, well, Jake Moody can't.
He might get drafted though. He might get drafted somewhere in the 6th or 7th.
What position if we went first round? Like, oh, they pick a linebacker first round.
I honestly wouldn't hate linebacker.
Well, we know you wouldn't hate the linebacker position.
I mean, realistically,
Wide receiver.
I think wide receiver. Yeah, I honestly think, and I keep seeing people saying that wide receiver is an issue. My problem is if you pick a wide receiver at 1, and it's not JSN who's projected as the only actual first round talent. Where's this guy fit in? I'm a full believer at 26. The guy needs to play a lot in the first year, and wide receiver, whoever we take, isn't going to play a lot.
Yep.
I'm on the vibe of this. You
Crack him if you got him.
and I
son.
am on that vibe.
Crack him if you got him.
I was just waiting for AJ to start talking so I could interrupt it.
Juiced him up. You
That's the
juiced
way-
him up.
The best crack 'em is the one that interrupts
Oh,
at the most.
so good.
Opportune time.
Yeah.
Like in the fourth quarter of a game when we're all kind of sloppy and we're just
You got to think this. Yeah. Which I don't remember a lot of fourth quarters.
fourth quarters get hazy.
Okay, come together right here. Okay. This is how you got to think of this year's draft. This is how I'm thinking of it. Is I only have till 2024. I don't have 2 years, 3 years. I'm not drafting for a 5-year window. I know that that's what is the smart way to look at it when you're working with the dynasty. But are we not trying to win a Super Bowl?
Next
and
year.
If the answer is yes,
This year.
then
This year,
2023.
2023.
If we're trying to win a Super Bowl, then you got to make the moves to make that impact this year. And so that's how I'm looking at this entire draft.
Yep.
Maybe it's not the smart choice to help the team when Zach Martin retires. I get that, but are we waiting for that? Like, I get it if you're building a dynasty, but do we want to win a Super Bowl? And we've seen teams do it. Eagles got to the Super Bowl by doing it. Mind you, they had Hurts's rookie contract, so that really does help. And the LA Rams won a Super Bowl by doing it. So would you be okay with going all in this year and kind of forfeiting a year or two potentially in the future?
So you're thinking, so as far as going all in as the draft pertains, that means moving up. That's how that you're going to get someone. That's how I see it. You're forfeiting picks in either this draft or next year to get that guy that you think is going to step on this football team this year in 2023, and you're going to win a Super Bowl. Because let's face it, with how free agency kind of panned out, we did make moves saying, "Hey, we're in this." We made smart moves, the Cooks trade and the Stephon Gilmore trade. Great value picks, great trades. They didn't make a splash at like OBJ or Hopkins or Jalen Ramsey, those are kind of ones that would be like, hey, we're actually going for it.
Yeah.
But maybe the Cowboys are waiting for draft day. Maybe they're waiting for April 27th to say, hey man, we got one in the chamber. We're fucking going for it this year.
It seems like the consensus from a bunch of the chat, and by that, just a few, safety would be a bad pick.
Oh, yes. Safety would be terrible.
Oh yeah.
Because same thing. Any safety you pick, they're not taken out. And even cornerback, to be honest.
And so EJ says a position that'd be pissed if they pick would be Branch, the safety from Alabama.
Yeah.
He's a good player, but it's a position that doesn't have the high end value, and we've already have 3 really good safeties. Ultra Cowboy says he agrees. And
Quarterback's another one.
And then yes,
Truth.
yeah, right.
QB's probably the top one, actually.
Yeah, and then unpopular opinion, but Brian Branch is interesting at 26 as a hybrid safety / corner.
But it even goes corner safety. You have your starters.
Yeah.
Right. You're looking for a starter corner and safety. You have Stephon Gilmore, Trevon Diggs. Those are your 1-2, right?
And if we're looking at safety, I don't know if it's going to follow the same trend that we're seeing on the mock drafts, but Garrett Wilson is someone, I believe that's it.
Garrett Williams?
Garrett Williams, sorry.
CB kind of hybrid?
Hybrid, and he keeps dropping, and it's because he was injured. But outside of that injury, I would be looking at that
He's a ball
guy.
hawk,
If he's
too.
going to drop to 4th or something, like that's where I would look to fill a CB.
Oh, definitely.
I'm high on Bland, baby. I'm high on Bland.
And Jordan Lewis coming back. That's what I mean.
Yes,
so you have. So this is your.
You're
this is your
Bland high.
AJ's never been Bland high. He's super high. This is your backfield right now. Your defensive backfield. Trevon Diggs, CB1. Stephon Gilmore, CB2. Slot corner is going to be an amazing battle in training camp between Jordan Lewis and Deron Bland, who are probably going to get a lot of playing time. So this is a rare instance where your cornerback 4 is probably going to be a really, really good slot cornerback, right?
It's either Bland or
Jordan Lewis. So what I'm saying is in the first round, you're not taking someone to take over it for either of those guys. And then you go into our safeties, Jerron Kearse, Malik Hooker, and Darnell Wilson, who they just extended. So yeah, cornerback safety is not a first round. You pick up a guy like Garrett Williams in the 4th or 3rd, who's fallen because of injury issues, and you could let him marinate on the bench and learn from a couple vets, and then next year he challenges for that CB2. That's a fucking best case scenario.
I like it. Hey, I got a story.
Let's hear it.
And
It's not about you, J. Owen, is it?
I had to go.
mute the
I
mic.
had to drive. I lost insurance and I JO'd in the parking lot.
Does this look normal? No. Okay, so went to a movie by myself as
This is a recurring theme
yeah.
of your stories.
They
don't-
know
I
they know
don't-
me at the theater and they
I mean,
gave me some nice hot popcorn.
It's weird because whenever I go to a movie, I definitely ask him. Whenever he goes to a movie, he subjectively asks.
You
me,
say this every time, and I ask you. Every
What
time.
movie did you go see this last time?
Renfield.
Never.
Was it good?
I did ask you. I asked you.
was it good?
On our Shane Gillis trip? It was okay. Before I get to the
wasn't good.
story.
Oh, here we go.
No.
I need a movie review before the story.
So Renfield was okay. It was funny, and I thought Nick Cage played a really hilarious character. The action was really violent, and that was good about it. If you're into that type of thing, that's the whole vibe of the movie, is like it's this gory horror. But the lead actor just was not an action dude, and so it was pretty. I don't know. I would have to say like it felt really like a really good B movie, but
They didn't place the main.
I don't know. And there was a lot of kind of stupid shit which I could have got through, but
Who's the main actor?
The
Who's
guy that
main
plays
actor?
the Beast in X-Men.
Nicholas Holt.
Nicholas Holt, yeah.
I like him. He wasn't that good, eh?
well, however they cut it, I don't know. There was just something about it. And go check it out. Like it was still worth your time if you like those types of movies.
More of a stream at home type movie though.
Yeah, I think so. And when you watch it, you'll just see it's like it almost actually the best way to put it is it kind of felt like there was two directions they were going and then they meshed them together.
Which if it was on purpose is kind of funny.
Yeah, totally. It's worth your time. It's if you haven't seen like Dungeon and Dragons or John Wick 4 or 5, whatever the fuck one it is, go see those first. Now, I'm in the movie theater. J-Owen in the back. No, just kidding.
Pee Wee Hermine in the back.
I'm in the theater, and the movie was 130 minutes. So I'm like, okay,
That's long.
Well,
Was that 2
hear,
hours? 10
hear me
minutes?
out. It says 130, right? So I'm thinking hour and a half. So I'm sitting in the movie watching it, being like, okay, this is just a usually.
Quick in and outer, like
Yeah,
the Super
quick in and
Mario
out.
Brothers.
I get to about where I think, okay, I turn my phone off because my alarms, they're just gonna go off randomly. I don't want to disrupt anyone. So I'm like, man, this feels like it's been like an hour and 15. It doesn't really feel like we're getting to the end of the movie. Whatever. I'm gonna keep just watching it. Obviously, it goes on for 2 hours, and by this point, I know I'm like, okay, what the fuck did I look at? It was wrong. Well, what I thought said an hour and 30 minutes was actually 130 minutes. So, over 2 hours. And who did
How the fuck is that movie 2 hours?
Who did I feel like? I felt like Mike McCarthy, who has trouble with his time management.
Oh,
And
I see. There's a little. This is like a
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon cartoon where there's always a lesson at
There's
the
a
end.
lesson. Well, it's more of a question I'm throwing at you.
Okay.
He's now taken on the offensive coordination duties. Is this going to improve or hinder his already questionable time management and coaching performance?
Maybe that's why he has Shoddy there now to possibly. Maybe Schottenheimer's more of, I guess, not because you get time issues on both sides of the ball. But yeah, that's a good point, man. Or maybe he's more involved with the game now. I don't know.
Well,
that's a good point.
So that right there, I think it could be the reverse. When you know that, okay, I'm calling plays and I have more. I'm not going to say that he was complacent, but when you have other people doing a lot of the heavy lifting, some people just kind of get
fogged out.
Yeah, complacent. So obviously time management was a big issue, but when you're thinking of the play clock, like when you're thinking of the plays you're going to run, you're absolutely looking at the play clock. You're looking at the game time. I think if anything, we'll see a bit better efficiency from there.
At least on offense.
But at the same time, it's the fucking NFL with it. And like, how many coaches? How many?
You're wearing a fucking headset. Wouldn't you be that guy in the booth being like, Mike,
Call time, Mike, call time,
Mike, challenge, fucking challenge, dude.
Actually, here we should. It would be funny to do a skit this summer where Alex is Mike McCarthy's time management coach.
Or yeah, totally.
And
Mike.
I'll superimpose him in a bunch of the clips where he's on, where he's on the shot like this. Yeah, last year with Kellen Moore there, and there was this weird thing. Anyways.
That would be funny.
Mike, turn your radio on, Mike.
But it is an interesting question, and we don't know. I mean, can his time management get worse? Can it really? Because he's had some pretty boneheaded stuff happen. So I'm hoping it's only going to get better.
Well, I think it'll only get better.
I think those are two good points. So either A, he's going to be more into the game, but if he's focused on offense, that he doesn't just take a break and then watch defense. Like, he's going to need to be focused on dealing with whatever they need to deal with for the next set of downs that the offense is going to come on and play. So who is going to be the time manager there in that situation?
I wonder
Perhaps Schottenheimer does step up and kind of fill that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I wonder if maybe he kind of gives up some duties to even like Dan Quinn, and because obviously, the defense is on now that Mike's running the offense, he's going to be talking with the offense, right?
Yeah, he can't just say, "All right, guys, see you next."
Yeah, right. So maybe he kind of does give someone else a little bit of power. Some more power to call some time to some challenges or some timeouts. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see.
It's nothing new to him, and it's nothing new to the NFL. So obviously, there's ways around it. But the issue is, and I guess it's just we're gonna have to wait and see. Is that gonna make those issues that popped up worse, or is he gonna be able to correct?
Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
Ad's favorite soundbite. So, hey, can you give me? Would you look at that? Give me one of those.
Oh, would you look at that?
So that's actually a good segue. So we have an article up here with Cassidy Cook.
Yeah, I figured we could go through. This is Cassidy Cook from Landry Hat?
No, Sport DFW. So from DallasFortWorth.com.
Sorry. There we go. Thank you, Ant. 7-round 2023 mock draft. I figure.
Only version 3.0. Lazy.
Come on. No, Cassidy, we appreciate it. But we will, I figure this would be a good thing to end on.
Yeah,
Just go
definitely.
through this draft, see what other people are doing, get prepared for our Wednesday night main event.
So
are we going to try to guess, too?
Well, are we... Okay, so just a quick...
EJ should be coming on.
Just a quick question. So we did mock draft 8. Go ahead, check the video out. It's live if you didn't tune in. We're 1 week away. We're 1 week away from... We got all of next week, and then we're into draft week. So we're not going to be doing a Wednesday night main event but the night before the draft.
We're not?
I thought we were just doing the 3-day draft extravaganza. Or do we want to do them?
I think we...
Well, my thought would be...
I'll be in studio.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay, so in any case, I was going to say this week would be mock draft 9, and then we have to do our own solo mock draft 10.
Okay, so this is...
Sorry, my thought would be, and this is just some behind baseball. Once we get to mock draft 10, we need to put together a video that says we did 10 mock drafts. So we do 10 mock drafts. Here's our list of players that we want per position leading into the draft.
Well, that's our big board kind of thing.
Oh, you mean so we take our mock drafts and then...
Well, that's kind of how I thought that was going to be kind of our CanFan big board would be you go through all 10, you get round 1, who we've picked.
Yeah.
That's obviously round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5. It's an easy way to give ourselves a cheat sheet.
So just before it, I mean, possibly we make the big board live. So we go EJ Savage this Wednesday for mock draft 9. Sunday service, we do just us mock draft 10.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday night main event, we could build the big board for the draft extravaganza.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll next Sunday would be a CanFan only
mock 10. The final mock
for an in-house CanFanery. But yeah, I'm super stoked for EJ's upcoming draft here on Wednesday. Unless anything pops up, he's not able to make it. Always a pleasure to have him on. And he's also going to have rest of his... Yeah, also 2 as well. The rest of the 100-person big board, we're going to have them all there so we could read the names, but we'll only kind of talk about the guys who have some high Cowboys draft potential.
Yeah. So Cassidy Cook, fellas, 3.0 mock draft. Before we scroll down, what do you think she's going 1?
I already saw. So
tight end? She's going tight end. I can feel it.
Ad?
She's going to go guard.
Let's see. So here we go.
Or O-line, I should say.
Round 1 is Will McDonald Edge.
Which he does pop up. Again, though, is he starting over any of our current edge rushers? Probably. Is he gonna step in and be better than Sam Williams, Dorrance Armstrong, and Fowler Jr.? We don't need an edge wasted pick. That's my only thing. I just don't see him.
Big boy though.
I actually want to see Sam Williams with an extended role this year. You know, so totally. I honestly think this takes away from his.
That's what you got to consider is is Sam Williams just need to play more.
Exactly. And doing this, I mean, fans, this is the thing with first round picks. If this guy gets drafted, I want to see him playing over Sam Williams, but I also don't want to see my second round from last year not playing more.
No.
So it's kind of puts you in a conundrum. Conundrum?
Yeah, because now you,
So I don't know. I don't really like that personally. I don't like defensive end round 1. I don't mind defensive end later on because obviously you need to shore up the trenches whenever you can.
Now, that being said, crack him if you got him. Ooh, that's a good idea. Shit. Our boy, Tony Goat Romo,
Do we have any left?
Yo, yeah.
Can you get me one?
Yeah.
Fire that fucking pigskin!
How you finally found it.
TGR says
you know what?
you can never have enough.
You can never have enough.
You know what? Go ahead and crack him if you got him. But you know what we haven't heard for a long time?
What? Give us a soundbite.
Zagama Beach.
I know. Huh? You don't think I haven't? You don't think I haven't noticed?
Zagama Beach.
Crack him if you got him, son.
Got him.
Oh, double crack. All right, crack him. If actually, that was kind of a delayed trifecta.
Oh, I even have.
Yeah, it was
that's pretty full.
Look, sometimes it's a little bit sloppy, but you're gonna get that trifecta a couple times.
I'll use my
Spans out a
I'll
little
use
bit.
my RIP Ezekiel Elliott koozie just to have.
That's
him
one
next.
thing we didn't talk about. There's rumors when I'm just gonna say it quick.
Yeah,
Zeke coming back ain't happening.
No.
Zeke will not be on the Cowboys. Not only like as a person, as a human being, you don't want to come back with your tail between your legs. You want to go to a different team and show you can succeed. And 2, it doesn't make sense for the Cowboys.
And you know what? The fact that he's training with the guys, they're all boys.
They're best friends.
Yeah.
It's literally been his best friends for the last 7 years of his adult life.
And he probably still lives in
100%.
He's not on a team right now.
He's not on a
He's
team.
like, hey, this is the time.
Yeah, should he be practicing with Trevor Lawrence? You know, like people that use that as like a thing.
Imagine they were just like, you don't wear the star anymore. Get out of here.
Yeah, beat it.
Get out of here.
Beat it, Zeke.
That's nice.
Hey, you want to be on our team, man? Let's go,
Yeah.
boy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
The
get
Stars. Is that their dad's fight name?
Number 2 is round 2 here.
Offensive line. Let's try to guess. Cody Mach or Avila. Yeah, it's either
Avila?
going to be Mach or Avila. Let's see your draft knowledge, Ad.
It's going to be
Matthew Bergeron, a guy that again we've never taken.
Matt
Offensive
Burge.
line from
Sounds like someone
Syracuse.
that we know.
Hey, big dude.
6'5", 318 with almost an 82-inch wingspan. I don't even know how big that is, but that seems big.
Well, what's that in feet?
What 81? What are we looking at here?
82 inches.
We'll divide it by 12. So 72 is 6.
So he's like almost a 7-foot wingspan.
Well,
That's
it's probably 6 foot. It's probably 6'5", because
Right.
most people's wingspans are the size of that.
No, it'd be more than that because 6
huge.
foot 5.
I have a 5-foot wingspan.
Yeah,
and
but
I'm
you're
not-
barely 5 feet. Just kidding.
Hey, sorry, I hit you in the face. I was like this, and I
Or
smoked Alex
sorry,
in the face.
I think
You just
AJ.
did it again.
I think AJ is right because I think 72 is might
it's
be
actually
5.
It's actually a little bit bigger, 6.8.
Yeah,
So
you're right. So 6. Yeah, 6.
he's a bit of a freak.
He's a freak.
Now,
a log arm slender man freak.
Left guard Chuma.
Actually, he's not
Edgar.
slender. He's 318.
what are they saying here?
That's our right now our depth chart.
So she says Dallas is in desperate need of an offensive guard, and
Which makes me, it was weird that she took a defensive end in round 1 over a guard, but to each their own.
to each their own. I mean, I wouldn't mind any other position, but defensive end, ugh.
Defensive end, and I'd rather go guard in the first and then defensive end in the second. Round 3, wide receiver. Okay, who we picking?
But she just says Matthew Bergeron is an intriguing prospect for the Dallas Cowboys because he has tons of experience at both left and right tackle, but lacks the length to be an elite tackle at the next level. This is where Dallas would kick him inside at left guard, and then like this. This is the type of player that I just don't know enough about.
Yep.
But if they fit that package where it's like, yeah, they can play guard, then that we're looking for that. I don't
For
care
sure.
if on paper they're a center or a tackle. It doesn't matter.
100%.
If they can play the guard in the NFL or you think they can, I'm on board.
If they draft that dude, it's kind of like how when they drafted Tyler Smith last year before Tyron Smith went down, he was going to play left guard.
Yeah.
Now he proved himself that he's a left tackle in the NFL already. Tyler Smith was baptized by fire. He is a left tackle in the NFL. Now they're trying to find their left guard. If that's another tackle in college football who played tackle in college football, don't care. Sign him up. Same with Cody Mach. Mach is tackle, but he's not getting drafted to play tackle. He's getting drafted by any team to play guard. So,
Yep. Okay, so a round 3 wide receiver.
who
Okay.
we taking? Who do you think she's taking here? Round 3 wide receiver. We've kind of either went.
Tank Dell is always there.
Dell's there. I'm gonna say possibly.
Zay Flowers.
No, I'm
No,
not.
no.
He'd be
Hey, bro, I'm trying.
Zay Flowers.
Bro, I'm trying.
No, at 3. I don't know. Let's see.
Quentin Johnson.
No, he's long gone. He's long gone by then.
Let's get to it.
Tank Dell.
ATP. Yeah,
A.T.
ATP.
Perry.
Hey, you know our boy CJ Savage. Sorry, EJ Savage.
CJ Savage.
EJ Savage has been huge on AT Perry.
I like the big body receiver, 6'4", 198 with a 4.4 40. Okay.
Yep.
He also has an over 82-inch wingspan, so you know he can get up there and catch the ball. I don't really care what the person's name is, but if they have those attributes, I'm on board, baby. And I don't care a wide receiver, 3rd round and up. Again,
It's not. There's other positions we could have went here.
there is. It really depends. If you've not drafted a running back or a tight end, then this makes a little more sense because at least you can run a lot of 4 wide receiver
At least
sets.
they have that. At least they have that guard now, right? The guard. 100% guard is getting taken in the top 3 rounds. No matter what, has to be taken.
You have to.
And then anything else can kind of be fill in the blanks. Wide receiver, it's a shitty class with not very many big bodies, so this could be a good pick. He could be like a Terrell Owens if he puts on some weight. Right?
David Lawrence says Perry won't be around in the 3rd.
See, so there's a lot of people that are high on AT Perry. So
You got to think too. It's such a late 3rd. Like
we're still going away from running back.
man,
She's
hey, you know what though?
she's liking Rojo. She's liking Rojo TP20 right now. Our current.
Do you like
current
Rojo
fits.
TP20?
Hey,
No, I don't.
I don't.
I don't feel and possibly
you don't like
when-
Rojo TP20?
I do.
Oh,
I'm not.
I do, but I'm not convinced.
Long term, it's not this year. They
Oh.
could be fine.
I'm sorry. I was thinking Roshan.
Oh no, Roshan would be awesome. Which is still possibly we get him in the 5th here.
Yeah.
I just think that until we see what TP20 looks like either in camp or in those prelim games,
Because of the injury?
yeah.
I agree, man.
I'm just nervous of it. And not saying that Crash Davis couldn't, but
Or Rico Dwaddle. There's they do have some dudes.
the problem is though,
Unknowns.
look at when TP20 went down last season. There wasn't any.
No one stepped on
There
the
was no
field, yeah.
gas in that running back position. So I don't think Rojo's our answer. He's part of the system. So in my mind, I want some fresh blood in there. Not saying that Davis couldn't.
You want some fresh boys to massage?
I want some fresh boys.
The Cowboys. So look at this guy. Height 6'3", 206, 44, 4'7", wingspan 77.
We didn't even say it. Obi Trice.
Obi Trice, we drafted
him.
We've drafted Trice, and I think this is a good pick.
4th round, Obi Trice. I'd be happy with that.
I think cornerback in the 4th, okay.
Yeah, man. You get this guy in the 4th. I mean, again, not a pressing need. If we have a big body who just maybe needs 6 games, 8 games, NFL games to get up to speed, okay, this is the perfect type of round to draft that player who, if he's going to be strong at the end of the season, going into the playoffs. Playoffs. Now at this point in the draft, I'll start to tilt towards giving some more time to develop. For a position where we're not in dire need, but could be really strong to have a kid show up and be achieve that kind of A-rank rookie status near the end of the season, and now we're rotating him in. Injuries too could be big because, knock on wood, I'm not even going to say a name, but if someone goes down in the secondary, okay, you're never going to complain about depth. Bigger holes to fill before we get to that point on the priority list, but this is a good pick. I think
He's on steroids.
So right now, we kind of said before we looked at our draft, we said cornerback in the 4th round. If you're going to take a cornerback who in a year or 2 could take over as CB2, this is that guy, right? But it makes me nervous that there's big holes right now to me at running back. And what are you smiling about?
I just want Obi Trice so that I can have that soundbite. Obi Trice.
Yeah. But
That's how I
still
draft players for sound.
Yeah, sound bites. Running back and tight end. It's got to be a running back or tight end next. Has to be.
Well, let's go down and have a look. I'm going to go slow.
Okay, hang on. Be gentle.
So he did have a knee injury, though, hey?
Yeah.
In 2021. Torn ACL.
Hey, chat.
So
what do
we're
you,
2 years away from it
Who
now.
do you think she's picking, chat?
Well, I'm right on the cusp.
You're right on the cusp.
I'm fucking
He's-
edging
he's-
us.
he's
edging it.
Here, let me get a quick vape 10 in.
Okay, go
Well,
for it.
and I'll read where he fits in Dallas. This is Obi Trice. I believe Corey Trice Jr. projects best as depth piece at cornerback and special teams contributor. Trice excels in press coverage, and Dan Quinn loves that type of traits Trice brings to the playing field and his blend of size, speed, and temperament. In a pinch, they could use him as safety and reevaluate down the road once contracts start to expire.
I don't mind that double
He's
position
6'3", he's
at
6'3".
fourth round. Obi
Yep.
Trice playing that hybrid.
I don't hate it.
No,
so-
that's a good point. Very
Okay,
good.
so Chris Graham saying Zach Evans, and then EJ Savage saying she's picking a running back, probably a player like Johnson or Gray. And then David Lawrence comes in and says, I like Jack Orion Bennett as a later round corner.
Okay.
Jacorian.
Jacorian, but Jack Orion.
Running
Running
back.
back. Who we go? Come on. It could be
It's Roshan. It's
or
Roshan.
it could be Kendre Miller.
Okay,
Dwayne-
and you know what?
Dwayne-
After
no,
looking
is
at
this fifth round?
This is fifth round.
Kendre Miller. McBride's probably not here in the fifth.
McBride's
But
probably not there.
we've drafted him late.
You could even, possibly
Achane?
Tyjae Spears.
Oh, not Tyjae Spears.
I don't want him.
I bet you it's Tyjae Spears,
You know what?
fellas.
Ready?
I bet you it's Tyjae Spears, and it's going to replace it's the TP20 void. And that she'll say something about TP20 not being 100%.
Let's see.
Are you ready? I'm going to click it.
Click it.
Okay, edgy.
Edge it.
Christopher Rodriguez.
So we named like 8 guys.
Hey,
I like his
6'4",
size.
217.45.
I like his size.
Poppy likey.
Let's
Chris
read about this
Rodriguez.
cat.
We read about him.
We've never even. Have you guys ever heard this
The
name?
Cowboys are no strangers to the state of
No.
Kentucky.
Let's
Oh,
skip to this one.
Oh,
Sorry. I'm just saying this. That's the
Here-
lead in. That's the lead in bullshit paragraph.
Yeah, where he fits in Dallas. Give us that voice, Ad.
No. right here.
Ad was right.
What did I say?
You said somewhere they were going to mention Tony Pollard.
Okay, so Chris Rock, where do you want me to read? Highlight where you want me to start?
Where he fits in Dallas, the
this
last
one, sorry.
paragraph.
The apples. The answer is simple for this one. Rodriguez would take Elliott's role from last year. A healthy Tony Pollard would be the dynamic, explosive player, while Rodriguez would be the physical, short yardage, and goal linebacker. He could carve out a bigger role if he were to develop into a more functional pass catching running back.
Yes, Daddy.
And that's, hey, we've preached that. If we're taking a running back, that's kind of what we want him to do.
Ooh, David Lawrence says,
Yeah.
I like C-Rod, and I like that acronym for a name, C-Rod.
C-Rod, that's good.
Hey, do we need to bring him up?
Yeah, let's get
Oh,
C-
from the hand of Crod. The hand of Crod.
hand of Crod.
the head of Cross.
I'm not even calling him C-Rod. It's just Crod.
Yeah, it's Crod.
Oh, Crod for the TD.
Give me a second. Rodriguez is a hard last name to spell here.
But you go to Mexico how often? You know how to spell this.
Sí, pero
Chris Graham
Rodriguez
says,
es-
"What the?" I mean, we were all like,
en mucho
never has Crod been on my
Crod is he's Crod.
in Crod we trust.
In Crod we trust.
Oh, you know what?
Chris Rodriguez Jr.
I like him. He looks like a happy dude. And he's 6 foot. We talked about this earlier in the cast. If you're taking a running back, we don't want no little bitch, 5'8", 5'9", 180 pounds. We want in the football world.
No. I'm even less.
He's in the football world, AJ. We love having little bitches here. In the football world, we don't want a running back that's I think 6 foot 217. That juices me up.
And it's not accounting for, the easy 10 pounds that they can put on once they get into the
Looking tough.
Because they have all those magical things that make you stronger.
Not to mention, we're all about the nicknames. And Crod we trust.
Hey, look at this. 65% run blocking well, we don't need to run
Projected
block.
in the 6th, they're saying. He's 175th. Scroll down.
Sorry.
He's draft projection 6. Overall rank is 175. Position rank is 18.
I mean, so we haven't been looking at backs that late.
We usually draft early.
Yeah.
In all our mocks, because I honestly, to me, running back is a need. A running back's a top 3, at least a top 4 need for me. So
Right. It's funny.
Before we leave him, I'm just going to bring him up.
Yeah, bring him up there. But
PFF him.
Boots on the Ground says, I just love how the CanFan became draft experts this year. I love it.
We like to call ourselves Drexperts?
Well, because and I know he's very, very lightly saying draft experts.
Yeah.
But I would say compared to last year, year, we were just kind of like trying to make it through. Just AJ was in wherever the hell he was traveling. Ad and I were just counting down to days to going to Vegas.
We were more excited about going to the draft that we didn't even do. Then it was like all of our prep for last year's draft was, okay, so what cars are we going to get? How are we going to fly? What flights do we want? And then when we get there, what's the days looking like? Okay, and then how are we going to edit the stuff that's going on?
Totally.
We did zero actual preparation.
If the draft was 1 week prior or after, I can't remember.
You would have been there.
Yeah, because I was going to fly back and then fly home, and there was a flight that was like $1,000 less. So I would have flown in for 3 days and then flown back.
Well, that's awesome. But at that time, we thought we thought we had that DraftKings money, so we were like, just fly in.
Yeah, we still had that DraftKings sponsor, so we were like, let's do it.
Well, we had that. No, we had the idea of what the DraftKings sponsor, and then
they pulled out.
And then after we came back from the draft, they were like, oh wait.
Yeah, we pulled out. You guys don't get your last 3 months.
CanFan sponsored.
That's some behind baseball.
Yeah.
But look, this guy's numbers were really damn good.
He played Tennessee. Yeah. He played Georgia, but against Georgia, he didn't have a great game. They're pretty much an NFL team,
and he's only played one full college season in his 2 years. I don't know if the first year maybe he was splitting carries, but 2022 looks like he might have got injured.
Yeah, 2021 he got a lot of.
He did. So David Lawrence in the chat saying when he went out, Kentucky's offense suffered a lot.
It looks like
okay. Well, hey. We need a running back, so if it happens in the 5th round,
you know what?
And we get the hand of Crod, and we get the hand of Crod.
Okay, so if we go for the hand of Crod, so possibly we look at our next mock 9. We can't draft a running back until like 5th round.
I don't know, but it's if there's a guy there, you have to take him. There's a lot of good running backs.
Well, guess what?
We can set up rules, but guess what? We don't have.
The beautiful thing about the draft is you don't have to take anybody that you don't want to.
We can set up rules for Wednesday with EJ.
Yeah.
We can set that rule up, but Sunday has got to be an open draft, and we're gonna play it real.
It's just gonna be the whole thing. We
can draft guys who we've already drafted.
Yeah, like anyone that we decide on.
Yeah.
And we can't be doing anything like the last one where we're just fucking dishing off 2023.
Yeah, it has to be realistic.
Sorry, 2024, 2025 round 7s.
Which I mean is not unrealistic.
No, I mean no one gives a shit.
Yes, we can.
7. Yeah, you know what? No one.
But we just have. But they just have to be.
We can do whatever we want. Baby.
I'm gonna go back. Yep. I'm gonna go back, and this is some studying I'm gonna do. I'm gonna check out how many drafts the Cowboys have actually made trades in the last 20 years, and I'm gonna get an average from that, and that's our average.
Okay, fair.
That's what we can do.
Yeah.
Chat GPT it.
I sat on Chat GPT last night for Tay fell asleep at 10. I was up till 1 a.m. just Chat GPT and shit to myself.
It's addicting.
It's crazy. AI that until using that. And no, we're not Chat GPT. I know you're listening to me right now.
Just if you know this isn't actually a real podcast. We're using AI voices. We're using AI.
That's the scary thing, though.
This entire chat right now is fake. Fake.
I just want to say this. Until I used that last night, AI didn't really make me a little bit nervous until last night. I was like, oh my God. This shit is it's scary.
It's reading your thoughts.
It's scary, man.
AJ and I, when we went to big shout out to Shane Gillis, even though he's a Philly fan, fuck Philly.
Fuck Philly.
Actually,
fuck Shane Gillis, by the way. I don't even know who he is.
Loser.
There he is. I do know him. I lied.
On our drive out, we were talking about AI, and we were saying, today we were doing a lot of AI research. And from videos that you watched last year for what they can do, and of let's say for text to speech or editing stuff, things of that nature, the gap of 1 year has been absolutely it's almost like they're accelerating by 10 years time because the more people who use it, specifically in the last 5 months, the more people who use it, the more the machines can learn and can adapt. So it gets better and better.
Well,
and better.
Last thing I'll say about it before we get pick 6 here. We already have pick 6 up.
Yep, but keep.
I
got an AI tag too.
Okay, I thought you were wanting a fucking street shot with that pick 6.
What?
You're saying pick 6. I thought you were talking about a street shot.
Oh,
no. So I was on Chat GPT, like I said, having full-on conversations, and I would put something in. And they would tell me,
"Is my wiener big?"
Is my wiener? It's like no. But
how do you know?
But they'd be like Ezekiel Elliott. because one of my questions was name all the Cowboys players that have been drafted at pick 26 in the last 30 years. And one of the answers was Ezekiel Elliott at 26 in 2016. So I said, no chat GPT. Ezekiel Elliott was drafted in 2016, overall pick 4. So now that's in the database. I'm like, I should get a piece of chat GPT's money. I'm doing research for them.
You should get a bit of a Bitcoin for that.
Well, so some services, if you sign up like the one that we were looking at for the speech to voice, you accumulate coins, so you can actually help them train the stuff in there.
Terrifying.
So it's very terrifying.
And then eventually they'll be paying us.
Yes.
Or we'll be paying
and it's probably even worse because you can use localized stuff. So if you have like a bunch of software that you install on your computer and then you throw in a bunch of images, you're going into this like mesh network to help increase it. And then soon it's going to take over your
Skynet, man.
Hey, sir, we've noticed you sign up here. You've just been uploading a lot of dick pics. Well, hey, I want to make sure the internet gets it. I want the internet to get it right.
They need to know what it actually. Well, have you seen how the AI does hands?
Oh yeah, it's creepy as fuck.
It's creepy as shit.
It's gotten better.
Has it?
Yeah.
My last point on AI. My last point. Is
or your first point because this is your first and last point.
There, in all technology advances, there's a very quick growth window. But as you squish closer and closer to perfection, that growth window slows.
Yeah.
So
right now it's
huge, and it might be like that for the next 3 or 4 years. I have no idea. But eventually, closing that gap between undistinguishable reality and AI is going to be a harder crunch. It's going to get to the point where it will fool. It's already at the point, I should say, where it can fool the majority of people. Now, let's keep in mind, the majority of people are stupid.
True. That is true.
Well, I mean, so it kind of, this goes back into our, now all of a sudden became a crypto fucking AI podcast, but if you look at
You're going to get us flagged.
I just got us flagged. I just got us fucking flagged.
Actually,
they don't flag us on the swear words. They flag us on if you say words like crypto, AI. If you look at things like Unreal Engine, which is what shows like The Mandalorian use to help render real-time animated backgrounds, or even just graphics. So a lot of video games are using Unreal Engine to do high-quality, high-detailed graphics for the world. We're gonna see the next big thing, because Anthony and I were talking about today. He's like, "Is this animation?" I'm like, "No, you're just making still images." It does really high quality, high rendered still images. Probably the next biggest AI advancement is going to be you can type out a paraphrase, and it'll do voice, video, and everything, and it'll give you like
That's within the next 5 years.
It'll probably be within the next 3 years, I'm guessing.
It's terrifying.
Holy cow! Shiver me timbers.
Yeah.
So what's that do for people in the podcast game? We don't know.
It doesn't. I mean, right now,
you won't have to listen to us anymore. You can just listen to
to do a podcast. No, the good thing is algorithms can't follow us.
Hell no.
We bounce around. You'd have to say random shit plus Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, AJ, who do we got for the sixth? Who do we got for the 6th round from Jane Slater? Who are we fucking listening to right now? Cassidy.
I forget what her name was.
Slater.
Cassidy
No,
Cook.
I'm just joking.
Cassidy
Cook. Okay.
Very video game name. Or,
Anthony.
Marvel Comics.
I remember. I like that name, Anthony.
Anthony Orgy. Ooh, I like that
Anthony
name too.
Orgy, linebacker from Vanderbilt.
Now, don't like his size.
No, but we're seeing this trend with all these linebackers being 6'1", 6'2", 230. I mean, is it?
I don't like that our cornerback's bigger than our linebacker.
Well, this is the question I have. I think we share the same mentality about what we want for a linebacker.
Let's see his face too while we chat.
Yeah.
Well, we chat GBT this?
I think we share the same perspective when it comes to linebackers. We want a big guy. I'm looking for 6'3 plus, but if he's 6'3, he needs to be 250 and so on, right?
Yep.
We're looking for big boys, but the trend that I'm seeing, at least in this college draft, is a much smaller linebacker, a much smaller size. And I don't know.
Is there even any that are like even the top guys?
Some.
There's like I'd say 5 guys that are over 6'3", if that.
To me though, like what what we're seeing now, we're seeing obviously more in shape D linemen, edge rushers who the edge rushers seem to be your prototypical kind of middle linebacker size. So like sizable dudes who are fast. And then you have cornerbacks that need to be tall and they have to be fast with size. So maybe that middle linebacker can be that more versatile position. And honestly, like,
well, not middle
or line.
No, this guy's definitely not a middle linebacker.
So, but what think where I'm going for this though, it's nice to see this stuff on paper stat wise, but I think for like a linebacker position, if they're a little bit smaller, I want to see some tape on them. I want to see how he moves. I want to see how he reads
if he
coverage.
can take on blocks.
Yeah, exactly. Because he doesn't have to be that fucking gargantuan guy.
Yeah,
I think it's all really how you set up your offense. Let's say out of the 3 linebackers and 4 linemen that you have. Pardon?
So set up your defense?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Out of the 3 linebacker, what did I say?
You said
Offense.
offense. Whoa, someone's is this AI Alex?
Hang on, I got to get my
Vape it up.
Get vape. Or how are you feeling, vape? What? He's getting ready for the brunch.
Smoke weed every day.
He's getting ready for the brunch.
You know
we're
what?
gonna go eat after this.
Daddy. When we went to chat, so he was road popping it all the way down to Shane Gillis.
Don't blame
And then
him.
when we got there, he's in the theater vaping the whole time because they have like smoke running up, so you can't even see like what's going on. They have smoke on the stage. At one point, I looked over and I think he was so fucking stoned that he was. He was like watching. I was like, and I'm laughing like I have tears in my eyes, and I kind of look over and he's just kind of like looking up there, and I'm like, oh man,
is he sleepy?
I don't know if he likes this, but then afterwards he's like, oh, that was hilarious. I'm like,
I was just taking it in. Like I was probably laughing.
AJ's
in
the
my
worst.
head.
AJ's the worst comedy fan ever to have in. He just sits there and like dead face.
yeah.
No, there was times I did laugh out loud, but I know there were moments where I was really nicely vaped and just fucking
Just enjoying it.
just zoned in. Yeah.
He's playing zone defense out there.
I can't remember what I was.
Sorry. Did I cut you off?
No,
I didn't
no,
cut you off that time.
I don't.
You were saying something about how the defense is lined. Depends how the defense is lined up.
So if you have your 3 linebackers and 4 D linemen, or 4 linebackers and 3 D linemen, whatever your setup is, you're just trying to say, okay, I have 5 of them rushing and 3. So
You're saying it depends if you're 3-4 or 4-3.
and it really doesn't matter. I'm just meaning if his position is to just be one of those coverage linebackers always, then the smaller size makes more sense to me. Okay.
Oh, totally.
But and to continue that thought, do the Cowboys really need another rushing linebacker? I think they could be satisfied with one of those guys who's more of like a cornerback or linebacker hybrid than a D lineman.
My only thing with that is
hybrid.
you have Damone Clark, Andrew Wilcox, who are kind of slated in that right now.
And
we
same-
don't name the guy that's backing up Leighton Vander Esch,
No,
who's
you're
going
right.
to probably get hurt this year at some point.
And because
Who's backing him up?
same argument that we would use for the cornerback position.
Yeah.
Or sorry, for Sam Williams.
I just don't see, unless you think he's at round 6, you think he's, I mean, round 6 is kind of a flyer anyways.
Yeah.
But at round 6, unless you think he's going to take over or be better than Drew Wilcox or Damone Clark, why take him?
I mean, the way that Noah Sewell's been falling since Ants picked him in the draft, I
Would
think
love it.
I think we can get him in the 6th round.
I would love Noah Sewell in the 6th round.
Here's something
Absolute banger.
Sorry, here's something interesting about Orgy. He actually transitioned to linebacker from safety less than 3 years ago.
Exactly. So he's on the that's why, because he was too big and slow to be a safety, so they put him down in the box basically.
You know what? So her comment, Cassidy Cook's comment here about having him inputted into Dan Quinn's defense and having this kind of like player you draft as a certain position, but you kind of scheme him out in certain ways. Like, I mean, she ain't wrong.
You turn him out.
Yeah,
Inside out.
Turn him inside out.
Is there any left?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, here final.
No. If you need it, you take it.
EJ Savage says the Cowboys always use a linebacker on special teams, so I wouldn't mind this pick.
Okay. And if EJ likes it, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Anthony
Hey,
can't think for himself.
At this point in the draft, we're going
I have
for
Chat GPT.
He's a chat bot. He's a Chat GPT bot.
but round 6 and 7.
Oh, are we even doing round 7 here? Like, yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
What's this baby girl got?
Nesta Jada Silvera. Nesta Jada Silvera.
I mean, again, 7th round, you're just kind of throwing darts at a board and hoping you hit.
what is this guy? Another defensive tackle.
The way she's drafted here, she's just thinking that, I mean, obviously we don't need a defensive tackle this year. And I don't disagree with her. So you kind of just draft it because eventually that person is possibly going to replace a certain player on the team for the next 2 or 3 years.
And you know what? I'm going to reach out to Cassidy.
Get her on the draft.
To defend these picks because I'm saying it right now. I'm a little disappointed.
I didn't. Oh, they don't. Okay, but
I'm a little disappointed.
I'll give a lead because we've had people get at us on our later versions of our draft. She's on version 3, right? So she probably already doesn't want to pick players that she picked 1 and 2. So I could see maybe that's why. Because for content purposes, you're not going to do the same draft every time.
Well,
so I give her that. I give her that little benefit of the doubt.
There's only one way to find out.
Get her on.
Okay, so Lawrence Jones from TikTok says, is Bohanna still with us from Kentucky at defensive tackle?
Yep. Yeah, Bohanna's still around.
Yeah, so you take a defensive tackle possibly because maybe you just want to have depth in that role.
Seventh round. I mean, like I said, you're kind of just throwing a fucking dart. You know what I mean? You're just throwing a dart at a board. Honestly,
I mean, Cassidy, you're not taking Jake Moody. Like,
yeah, well, she saw that mustache. It's a great stash.
Come on, actually, if we look at her.
Crack them if you got them
on Sunday service. Guys, we are going an hour and 42 minutes on
my goodness.
On an extra large Sunday service.
Extra large. Hour 42.
An hour 42.
Oh shit. Well, we
got to wrap this shit up.
We got that $10 brunch that we're going for.
Let's get to the brunch.
Yeah, let's get to the brunch.
Let's go to the brunch. Okay, so
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
I think, man, we are what? I'm trying to count the days here, but it looks like something along the lines.
10 days.
Yeah.
10 days from the draft, we got some CanFan loyalists who are going to be at the draft at the draft that we'll be bringing in. We have a 3-day draft extravaganza that we have a special guest on. We're going to be starting to pump out the schedule soon. But literally, we will be drafting every fucking minute of the draft this season. Streaming.
We will be streaming.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, is that it? All right. Okay, this is my first Sunday service call out with the new music. I like this. This beat gets me going. All right, for the bandwagon boys over there, looking mighty fine in those support what are they called?
In our service wear.
Yes, a service. What are they called?
Army. It's salute to service.
Salute to service. Look fucking amazing. Anth Best, your host over here. We'll be back on Wednesday for the main event, 6 p.m. Pacific time. 9 p.m. Eastern. Crank that. Crank that shit.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.